Introducing GeForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're here, Eldora Speedway, with the GeForce Racing League here tonight. The Southern Patio enclosures. I was about to say exposures, but I don't know why I got a habit of wanting to say that so bad. But enclosures, that is. So I apologize. But we got some good new sponsors here tonight to shout out to you. I can get my sheet up here real quick. And our first race here tonight, because he's a guy that actually races here, Mike Schultz, and he owns his own business out there and does a great job. But as we're getting set to go in here in heat race number 1, and actually that would actually be the A&J Custom Creations heat race number 1, but also the title race sponsor here tonight, HVAC Experts in New York State. So that might be near your area there, Doug.
Yeah, a little bit west of where I am. That's a former street stock racer and his family there, Schultz Heating and Cooling, Mike Schultz. So they do it all. You guys do all the HVAC stuff, heating, cooling, emergency stuff, you name it. They can do it. And of course, like we said, Southern Patio Enclosures. And one thing I didn't know about them, they can go anywhere in the country. So whether you're in New York, down in Texas, or down where you are in Carolina, they can take care of you and build your dreams. So make sure to look them up.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, getting set here to go green flag racing here at A&J Custom Creations Heat Race 1. And folks, this is a part of our Throwback Cup series here to get set to kick off the new season here at GeForce Racing. And we appreciate all the new sponsors here. Is the Eldora Speedway. Everybody knows Eldora is a famed track there. Tony Stewart's own backyard style track. He built it here. He kind of does everything at this place. And they have the famed truck race here from NASCAR too. And that's usually an exciting one here. And also should be an exciting one there. I will admit I'm not very familiar with these cars or UMP modifieds. So, I'm going to kind of lean on Doug to kind of explain a little bit about what these cars are as soon as we get started here.
Jeffrey Barker, Matthew Smith in the front row, Mike Schultz, Brandon Schultz in row 2, Kyle Mooney and Joe Bax, we call him Mooney, Dennis Stonebreaker, and Sean Bowers in row 4, and Barry Goldner is alone in the final row. IMCA UMP Modifieds, they're very close. These just have a little bit bigger motor, a little bit different tire, a little more body work than an IMCA Modified. And already one car in the wall as Jeffrey Barker has the lead here through the first set of turns.
We'll talk about, I'm going to do some body work. Matthew Smith right there is going to have something done as he crammed the wall up front there. Jeffrey Barker, though, still sitting in second. Sitting out front. Brandon Schultz there. Battles on for the transfer spot there. Mike Schultz, though, the man, he's in the wall. Not him in the wall. That was Joe Backus. He about backed that thing up in there. Like I say, these things are really rough to drive right now.
Yeah, I was listening to some of the chatter with some of the guys in the earlier practice sessions. I remember one guy going, anybody know how to drive these things? But they're a little bit like late models. They have 3-4-link suspensions, some of the toughest cars in the world to set up and some of the toughest to drive. So hats off to everybody who makes it into the show tonight and runs well.
Got that. Brandon Schultz trying to see if we can't pull up our, maybe throw a slider on the inside. Jeffrey Barker behind him. Mike Schultz and company. But the battle's on here. Kyle Mooney, he's got company behind him. Sean Bowers is sniffing right down that back end of him.
And this is a heat race, not the feature. So the heat race, you don't necessarily have to run up that traditional Eldora lineup at the top. As you can see, Barker's kind of running bottom to middle, where Brandon Schultz is up high now. Mike Schultz has gone up front, and Mooney's sitting behind them. But he's starting to get some pressure now from Sean Bowers for that last transfer spot.
Riding along here with Kyle Mooney, and I tell you what, inside cockpit, and these guys, men, are just kind of sitting sideways in these cars all the way around this track.
They really are. I mean, these things, the way that people described them to me, because there's a lot of guys around here in the Central New York area that went, they say they will not turn if you're not on the gas. So it's not like a street stock that you can just float into the corner. But what a battle we've got going for the lead now. Parker's had the lead the whole time, but Brandon Schultz is down on the inside, the two touched coming out of two.
Took a slide job right there, put it in the front side of him. Brandon Schultz takes the lead from him, still goes down low. You got Jeffrey Barker trying to mix in the middle. Yeah, they're not taking that high lane yet. We might see that by the end of here. White flags out one more time here for our Heat Race 1.
Yep, Schultz and Barker, they're good. Show is Mike Schultz. Kyle Mooney in that last qualifying spot right now. He's got Sean Bowers and Dennis Stonebreaker on him as they go around for the last time.
Yeah, it is. Good one here out of 4. Brandon Schultz is going to be the man pulling it off here in ANJ Custom Creations Heat Race 1. Awesome run. Kyle Mooney's going to head up there in that last transfer spot. So what a run here so far. And that's going to kick off our Eldora here, and it's going to put us in Heat Race number 2. Again, don't, like I say, check out old Mike Schultz out there. He's got his HAVAC systems out there, and that company, hey, you know, we're getting in the winter time. So
yeah,
you may want to get things looked at a little bit there, you know, get them prepared. Especially up there in Canada, in the New York area. Well, you get cold.
It's going to get, we're closing our pool tomorrow. You know, we've said that's enough. And so we're beginning our winterization up here. And again, whether it's an emergency deal or, you know, water heater goes in the middle of the night, something like that, Schultz, heating and cooling.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go with our Malcolm Mills Heat Race number 2 here tonight, as these guys are looking good. Here we got 8-9 drivers out here. I'm going to put it on the board as, I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's my storming stampede of mutts going by. But
I wondered what that was.
They're getting pumped up and excited. I don't know if the stream heard it, and I don't know you probably did, but I don't know what they heard it, but they're getting excited for the race at Eldora. We're getting pumped up here, but yeah, I feel for y'all up there in the northern parts of Canada and, you know, New York, because I'm down here in NC, which we're right there in that middle. Yeah, we get, you know, half and half on the winter. We've had winters that stayed in the 70s, so, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know you get a couple inches down there of snow, and it pretty much stops everything up here.
We get ice a lot.
The roads are dry by 10 in the morning, Joe. Got them all set. Brandon Lacey, we haven't seen him much. Brandon Lacey, he'll be on the pole, the 414. DJ Boydell, the 014. Kyle Barker, Ryan Beagle in row 2. Kevin Fry, John Hine in row number 3. Cody Castleman and John Rayner are in row number 4. UMP Modifieds at Eldora.
And Doug Elkins looks like he did not grid here, so it's going to put 8 drivers here.
Who is that guy?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. That's you. Never mind.
Yeah, what the heck's he doing? Who is that guy? He's never grid that.
Well,
I got to find a way to do that. They told me there's a way. I tried and it didn't work, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's got to go to the spectate. That's all. That was no big deal. But yeah, all right. So, well, we got 8 drivers here, like I say, and Cody Castleman going to sit back in the back. Was getting set. That first heat race was awesome. This is Malcolm Mills Heat Race number 2 here tonight. They're going to 2x2 them. Lights off on the pace truck. Pull them around here at Eldora. We're getting set to go dirt track racing.
8 laps, top 4 get in, everybody else, goes to the dreaded Consolation race. As the pace truck lights are out, looks like we will be going green this time here at the big half mile.
Absolutely. Pace truck's going to duck off on pit road. Man out front, Brandon Lacey, GJ Boydell right there. Green flag flies. We're racing here at Eldora.
And depending on the angle you might have been watching, you see those things just stand up as soon as the guys get on the gas. That's what those rear suspensions do in these cars. They run a little skew. So if you looked at them from the top, the rear end is kind of tilted off to one side. It makes that left rear drive right up underneath the race car. Again, incredibly hard to drive, but not so far for our race leader, Brennan Lacey.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan Beagle's under fire with Kevin Fry back there. They got 3 cars battling with 3 wide there with John Hine and company. They're trying to get that last transfer spot. Throwing a slider down the inside. That would be Kevin Fry, but you still got Ryan Beagle up high hanging on to it.
Yeah, John Hine right there also. So that race for fourth, there are at least 3 different cars that could get in there and get it right now. But Beagle's kind of in that line you want to be at, a little bit higher on the racetrack. And as I say that, he goes low now, trying to get third.
Oh, he's contact 84. Now. Yeah, Ryan Beagle got up in there. I mean, he got bit a little bit on that one. As I opened the door for Kevin Fry, he got up there to the 4th place. John Hine still seeing if he can't claw his way past Kevin. It's still a good battle on for 4th. Is up front, Brandon Lacey still owns that one here to kind of single file top 3 or top 2, but the battle's still happening back here for around 4th and 5th.
Now, Hine and Beagle, they're on the outside looking in as John Rayner surfed the wall down there, lost a lap, and one car up on 2 wheels, and around goes G.J. Boydell.
G.J. Boydell. Oh, wow. He was up front running along with Ryan Beagle, got caught up in that. They went flipping down the bad stretch. John Hine actually caught the rear end of Kevin Fry, but now that mixes up the whole top field. Brandon Lacey still out front. He's loving it. Kyle Parker hangs on to 2nd, Kevin Fry 3rd, and then Cody Castleman goes, hey, how did I end up here? But I'm in 4th somehow.
Sometimes you avoid trouble, and that's the best thing you can do out there. Kyle Parker is giving Brendan Lacey quite a run up front. He's taking a look at the outside, he's taking a look at the bottom, and he's going to have one more lap to go coming around next time to try to get him, but he just can't seem to get by Lacey. White flag out.
White flag up top there in that cushion now as they come out of turn 2 down the back stretch. Kyle's going to have one more shot here down the back stretch into the last 2 turns. Not going to be close enough to put a slider on him. It's going to be all Brendan Lacey at the line.
Impressive run for Lacey. Starts on the pole, leads every lap. Parker and Fry there in. And how about Cody Castleman? You mentioned him at the start. Started 7th, stayed out of trouble, missed the big wreck, and ends up qualified in 4th.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, these guys, man, are doing an outstanding job, like you said, putting it in and out here. Is going to head off into our heat race number 3 here tonight. Whew, been exciting here at Eldora so far.
It has, and I'm impressed with what these guys are doing because I saw a lot of people wrecking in the early practice. So they obviously picked up their game here. They're doing a much better job here in the heat races.
Oh,
good
yeah,
job,
no
guys.
doubt. No doubt here. I tell you what, so a good one here tonight. The Southern Patio enclosures here. And, well, I tell you, got to appreciate Mike Schultz out there and his company with the HVAC systems. That guy does an outstanding job. And if you're in the New York area, and, like I say, I understand it's about to get cold up in that area, getting the wintertime months. Y'all really need them. Check him out there. He definitely will get it hooked up for you and, get it serviced or whatever and get you set and going. And especially if you're in Canadian area, because a lot of these guys, I don't know if he services the Canadian area or not.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, most New York companies don't go across the border. So, hey, how do you like what Nicholas Vickery did with his car? Kind of like a World War II fighter pilot look on the front there.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. A little flashback there. So, yeah, and HVAC, I have a lot of friends in that industry. For you, any of you young kids looking for a job where you're not going to get laid off and not have work during COVID and stuff like that, HVAC is the field to be in. Seriously.
Yeah, the HVAC stuff. I mean, definitely. And, before we go green here, and I don't want to get too far off subject, but I am more of, I understand, and I think what this one thing this pandemic has taught us, and sure it was taught us a whole lot, but one big major thing is the importance of skilled laborers out there. Yes. And, thinking about what Mike Schultz has there with the HVAC systems that he does and so forth, so that is a skilled labor to have. And plus our second sponsor tonight, definitely, and also even Southern Patio here. So definitely is one thing it's taught us is that those skilled laborers are still a valuable part of the USA here and anything around the world. So as we just hit green, Nicholas Vickery and Company there, he's in 4th and he's got his hands full. He's trying to get around Terry Landis.
Yes, he is around the outside. He had a tough start, actually. Lost a couple spots as soon as we went green. Shaw's in front, Goldner in 2nd, Landis in 3rd, and that's where the battle is, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th right now with Vickery, Fitzpatrick, and Hess. Yeah,
Fitzpatrick trying to see. He's outside knocking on the door to see if he can't get in. Terry Landis right there along with him. Chris Whipple, unfortunately, crashing in the back there. Aiden Young's been way off the pace. Going to have to do the hard way around here tonight. But the battle's still on for 4th. Oh, Fitzpatrick, I think's up in the wall. That's going to leave Terry and them back there. They're slamming each other. Ouch.
Love Tom Taylor's car, too. Had the chrome car out there. So very nice right there. But out in front, 2 cars now pulling away. And the battle for 3rd and 4th now heats up again with Landis, Vickery, and Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I tell you what, old Terry got up there, just put a sideways sandwich on the side of there of Nicholas Victory. I mean, them two got together real hard. Now, you can do that with these. These are not really totally an open wheel style car.
No, they're
so
not.
You can get up there a little bit, maybe, bang door to door and not really upset it too bad. It's not like what the Sprints would be or anything, or what we saw last week with the UMP or the modified little Sprint cars that we saw. So here it goes on the inside. Terry trying to take over that third place spot.
Yeah, the only open wheels are the one in the front. So like that little move right there where they got together, that's not going to do any damage at all, as they still have a real good race going on. Well, that's third place right there. And, of course, fifth and sixth are right back behind them. Oh, and into the wall goes Chase S.
Yeah, Chase just put that thing, slammed it in the wall, destroyed it, all kinds, and took Jeff Fitzpatrick along with him. Tom Taylor finds himself in fifth, but it's still right there. A synchronized slides between them. Folks, it's not swimming. They're out here on the dirt, man, slinging it. Now Terry falls in behind. Nicholas is out front still. Stephen Shaw Jr. He's got one more time around the track.
Yeah, last lap here at Eldora, and you can see what they do at Eldora. They go a little lower out of the corners to kind of protect it a little bit. Shaw will get the win. Goldner in second. Victory and Landis, they're in. To the Conti go Taylor, Fitzpatrick, Hess, and Whipple.
Awesome finish here tonight.
That was good.
For our heat race number 3. Let's see. I don't know if they'll have a heat race 4 tonight or not.
No, just Conti. They're going right to Conti.
All right, so that'll be our eToronto tickets B main here tonight. And with them having 3, that should take 8. Is that right?
Let's see. It says 10 laps taking 12. Yep.
12.
10 laps taking 12.
Always have to get it now.
13 cars.
Are we taking 24 or 20 to the feature?
Well, the way I have mine set up, I could see that right at the top.
You should.
That up right there.
You
so
should.
It says 12, 10 laps, and let's see. Yeah, there's 13. So
feature, it should say something for feature also.
Well, let's find out.
Or if anybody's
Feature
out there
40,
listening.
40 minutes, 25 laps. That's all it's telling me at this point. So.
All right, well, if anybody's out there, let us know. The eToronto tickets be main, and eToronto tickets, like we always say, don't let the name fool you out there, because they definitely, even though it might say Canadian-based, definitely isn't, and they can get you North America and Canadian.
And the big thing there is fee-free tickets from eToronto tickets. That's the big thing. And, not everybody's like that. A lot of those places that they advise you to go for certain concerts, there's going to be a pretty big fee, and sometimes it could be as much as 100%. Don't pay it for the eToronto tickets.
Well, my boy, he loves going to concerts, and he's went to many of them, and he orders us one thing. I was telling him about the eToronto. I need to check into it, because he says, a lot of the fees sometimes that he pays he says it's crazy. Sometimes almost as much as a ticket cost. He says it can be, he spent more money on those than anything. So,
Ticketron was famous.
Yeah, Ticketron. Yeah, was the other big
one. They
one.
were famous for that. Yeah, huge surcharges on tickets.
Hayden Young did not grid up. So I'm wondering if he's just these might not be the cars for him tonight. He's probably thinking, you know what, I'll just try the second race.
You can't blame them. I mean, again, I tried these things yesterday at Weedsport. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even get around. So big hats off to them for driving these things. Sean Bowers, John Hine, Tom Taylor, Dennis Stonebreaker, they're the top 4 positions. Ryan Beagle, who remember wrecked in his heat. Jeff Fitzpatrick, same thing there. Joe Backus also had a problem. G.J. Boydale, Chase Hess, Matthew Smith, John Rader, Chris Whipple, and the aforementioned Barry Goldner. That was my word to use tonight, Joe. You know what I said? I'm going to use that word once too much.
What's that?
Aforementioned.
Yeah, there we go. Sean Bowers out front. We got John Hine right there, so we'll be checking out what's going on back here with Chris Whipple and company. And John Rayner, and Rayner's already around, and that is for the 12th place spot. Now, the good news here, though, is John Rayner, even though he ran around, he's going to actually go all the way back up to 10th because he's got several other cars. Let's go back here. Barry Goldner now is the man out front. Chase Hess went around up front there, and Ryan Beagle is in trouble. So we got some heavy hitter names that might miss the feature here. The one thing we got to look at, though, there's only going to be 2 cars out, and Aiden Young is already out. Chase Hess is outside looking in right now. And
he's trying not to be,
he's trying, though.
Right there. Right on Goldner.
All right, so Chase Hess moves it up in there. Well, let's just go back up front. Stonebreaker's in there trying for some sliders. I mean, there's action all over the place.
There really is. I mean, top 3, they're all actually top 5, really. all kind of running to the inside. The only guy really that's working the bottom is G.J. Boydell, as he's trying to pick up 6th place right now, racing with Tom Taylor for 4th, actually.
Uh-oh, Chase Hess around again, and John Rayner now outside looking in. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here now soon. Well, it's already happened, actually, not soon, but the leaders have caught these guys in the back, so now the leaders are going to be in traffic for the rest of the time. Well, I'll tell you what, if it's Consolation here or B Main here tonight tells us anything, watch out for the feature.
Yeah, and you notice how the grooves moved up too? Now that the track's running a little bit more, they're more at the top side. And look how much time it took Bowers just to get around the slower car of Chase Hess. So this is going to be very interesting here. And the team's learning a lot right now as they still figure out this track and this car that, as you said, they don't run very much.
No, they don't. Chris Whipple now moves. Well, never mind. Chris Whipple he was on the wall, and that puts John Rayner. Well, that 12th place spot is just flipping around, and it's only going to be one car. So that spot has done switched a lot so far, and mostly it's due to the fact of, well, they're just kind of losing the car coming out of the turn. I mean, or getting up there in that wall is what I've seen. Well, never mind. The 302 just came out of the turn, and that's John Rayner in 12th.
Yeah, right now it looks like it's going to be Whipple, who might not be the guy to get in because he's considerably far back from Rayner at this point, as we are narrowing this down. 2 laps to go next time they come around. White
flag. Here we go. Actually, it's a white flag out for him for the leader here right now. So he's coming around. I'm watching Chris Whipple right here. I think he's just trying to limp that thing around in limp mode here because he's all up into the wall. And John Rayner, I believe, is going to be the man because he's right there on the back end of Chris. So he's pretty much about a lap down so far. I mean, John would have to really mess it up. But Sean Bowers is going to be the man putting it in victory lane here for our E-Toronto tickets. B Main, John Rayner's going to hang on. I tell you one thing I'm seeing out here, and really huge is the fact that these guys are... with these cars, they're having a hard time keeping the back end under them.
They are.
As that puts us in our warm-up, folks. And I tell you what, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alright, welcome back to our Dirt fans, and I tell you what, we're going to swing this thing over here to our feature tonight. Strickland GMC feature here, and it's going to be awesome tonight. As we're getting set here to go green flag racing, Eldora style with the UMP modifieds, and we had some wild heat races. We'll see what these guys can do with about 24 of these guys on the track here, 25 laps.
It's going to be fun. They were fun. Of course, big thanks to everybody at Southern Patio Enclosures for their sponsorship of this summer series, and of course, Schultz Heating and Cooling right here in New York State. HVAC experts, call them up. We've got a good field. UMP modifieds on the big half mile. I don't even know if they ever actually run UMP modifieds out there anymore. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe. I'm not really sure. But you guys know
trucks. I know the Sprint trucks.
Modifieds get out there every now and then. Our Northeast modifieds.
Yeah, late models probably.
Yeah, late models. The Dream is there every year in the World 100. So, so this is interesting. Like we said, these are very interesting cars, very hard to drive. But boy, hats off again to all these drivers who made it into the feature.
Brandon Schultz, man, up front here for a feature tonight, as Brendan Lacey's there with him. So we got a heavy-duty field here, but again, now we want to give a hats off here. Again, got to give a shout out there to Mike Schultz and his company there for HVAC Systems there in New York. And appreciate him sponsoring this race. Southern Patio Enclosures here, obviously, for a series sponsor here. But, with that said, these cars have been a handful. I don't want you kind of judging the league of what you're seeing, because some of these guys not really 100% used or familiar. Let's say it that way. Not familiar with these cars.
I heard one of the guys during practice say these are a lot harder to drive than the real ones, is the way he put it. So we have somebody out there who must run IMCA or UMP modifieds to offer their take green flag out. Brandon Schultz, Brendan Lacey lead them down to 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and they're all spread out 3 and 4 wide about midfield here around with Mike Schultz and company. You already see some cars up in the wall. We've seen that all the time. Yellow flag is out, and I think that's got to do with Ryan Beagle back here in the back. Let's go back and see what happened. Had to happen on the start here. Is real easy to bunch the field up as we're watching this replay, Ryan Beagle style. He's unfortunately having to start back in the back here at 84, and I'm not sure how familiar he is with one of these machines. I know how well he is with a sprint and modified out there, but green flag flies on it. He gets going back there with the 767 machine, and oh, it just looks like he was a victim of with Dennis Stonebreaker and company. They got together and there's nowhere he could go and got involved.
Not a lot of that happens. You can be the Johnny come lately into the deal and you end up at the back. So wrong place, wrong time.
Absolutely. Well, tell you what.
Tell me what, Joe.
Trying to look here. Well, Tom Taylor said earlier, he sent me a message and said he was racing in the first race.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. Racing
He
here?
was. He's not showing now.
Yeah, he's in 24. Well, yeah, no, he's not, is he?
Yeah,
Either
I see
way,
him on the grid, but he's not out there
if
anymore.
he was going to, if he was out here, I would I'd bring him up and let him tell us a little bit about his sponsor. So,
Yeah,
we'll see if he's
we'll
see if he jumps in the Discord later on here as we get set. It's gonna be single file start here, so we'll see what this does.
And as you can see, the laps did not count. So this could be, well, we'll see. Could be a long one here as Brendan Lacey jumps off the wall there right up the start, but keeps second place, doesn't again out of the next corner, and he's got company with Stephen Shaw on the inside.
Yeah, up top, they are just grinding on that wall up there in that side cushion, as you can see him. Oh, big one in the back. Well, no, wait a minute. That's just my thing flipping. I thought it was a big one in the back. Never mind. False alarm. There's a big pack back there in the back. The 3 wide back there racing it out with John Hine and company.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks back there. Yes, it's heard somebody smack the wall out there too. So, but really doing a nice job. 4 wide right now for 17th as I'm looking a little bit further back. It is crazy back through the field.
That's where I'm watching about mid-pack right there where you're talking about around 12th, 13th place too. I mean, you've got G.J. Bordell, Joe Backus, Terry Landis, and I mean, we're just trying to bring all the action because it's all over the place here. You got Brendan Lacey. Yellow flag is out this time though, as that's going to put Barry Goldner. See what happened to Barry here.
He's down on the inside, back to the wall.
Yeah, Barry's down low. And maybe just looks like he just, oh, well, 27 right there got, well, I thought maybe it was between him and them, but Barry's down low just hanging on to it. And he just lost it out of turn.
That was just that simple. Okay.
It's that simple.
Easy to do in these cars. These are one of the hardest things out there. This may be one of the hardest cars to drive in this entire dirt side, from what some of the drivers have told me. So we'll see what happens here. 4 laps in, 25 is the distance here with you at the modified second half mile.
It's been a very good one here. As I say, well, the first race here, I tell you what, Schultz Heating and Cooling here is our first race sponsor here tonight. And that's Mike Schultz company out there. They're the HVAC experts in New York State. So if you're in the New York State area, definitely check them out. And I know they'd appreciate it. Definitely got to shout out their Southern Patio Enclosures. Those guys been doing an outstanding job also. And you can see all the sponsors kind of flipping through down there at the bottom with the logos on the stream. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit the like, share out there in the league. Appreciate it. We're going back green, single file here.
Yeah, check them out, southernpatioexposures.com. They got some really good stuff on there. Turn your backyard into what you always wanted it to be. Green flag out. Brendan Schultz, Brendan Lacey, they go right at it down in turn number with Lacey looking low.
And he does, and they've got Stephen Shaw Jr. out there on the inside. Going to see if he can get up in the middle of the fight here. And he says, welcome to the party on the bottom side. Lacey's got way down low, way up top. Schultz there in the cushion. That's 2 different sides of the racetracks that we're seeing here.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anybody go as low as Lacey did, although this time he chooses the highlight. Of course, remember that these ends are just a little different. 3 and 4 is just a little tighter than 1 and 2 here at Eldora, and sometimes that makes the difference as we see Stephen Shaw Jr. down low, caution out, 6 complete.
Yeah, Mike Schultz involved in that one. I think he got tagged on the back end there, unfortunately. Let's see what happened. He got up into the wall a little bit. Might have slowed up his momentum. 30 machine right there behind him. Kind of saw it in the back end there as it was live. He got up there in the cushion, got in the wall. Car went on the inside. Not sure who it is. It's the number 30 machine. I think they might have made contact there. See Schultz up high. Oh, he hits the wall again. Oh, okay, bounced off into 00. When he did, 00 had nowhere to go. And that's usually how it works.
Mike's got his business on the car tonight. He got that skin made up, so nice job. 6 complete. What will be a 25 lap feature. Lights are still on the pace truck, so it'll be at least one more time around before we get back to green flag racing. Brandon Schultz has led them all, but Brennan Lacey, Stephen Shaw have been right there. Jeffrey Barker back and forth, Kyle Parker in 5th. As it is still early on here. And of course, we've got another race coming up after this. We'll visit Weedsport Speedway for the first time. Lights now off on the pace truck. Likely heading in this time as the field is working the backstretch here at the famous Eldora Speedway. Schultz, Lacey, Shaw, Parker in top 5. Lights are off. Pace truck is going down to the infield, and the green flag comes back out. Brandon Schultz will lead them down into 1. Lacey stays up high with him. Shaw goes down low in 3rd. Barker and everybody back behind them. Parker and Fry, they all went low, kind of following him through there as the leaders are up high, and Stephen Shaw Jr. down low 1, 2, and 3. And Shaw looks like he's pretty committed to the inside line as the yellow is out here once again as we've got trouble at the back part of the field. Caution flag is out. We are 8 laps in as Brendan Schultz continues to lead here at Eldora. Won his qualifying race earlier, has led every lap so far in this one, and now the field will catch up to the pace truck 8 laps in to this 25 lap feature. In these UMP modifieds, oh, you got the repin. Awesome. So Brandon Schultz continues to lead. I understand there are some issues behind the scenes, technical issues that Joe is dealing with right now. So he'll do that, and he'll be back with us here in just a moment. It is the computer virtual world, and these things happen sometimes. Of course, there was a big update just yesterday. I'm sure most of you guys were hopefully able to get in there and get that update, get the new Speedway. There's some different things on the entry screen as well. It took me a moment to kind of figure some things out, but that is the way the world goes. Again, we talked about these cars. These, in most parts of the country, when they talk about modifieds, these are what they talk about, either IMCA or UMP. And of course, UMP is under the World Racing Group banner, and that is a very popular division. Standardized rules all across the country, very similar to late models and sprints in that aspect. 2 main differences: IMCAs have a little bit less motor under the hood. They have a claimer. These UMP cars are allowed to run aluminum heads. The engines can get up to as high as 500 horsepower. They have a softer tire. One of the things people with IMCAs who raced them complained about often was the tires were too hard. You just couldn't get it to hook up. Setup is everything in these cars. They're running fixed setups tonight. Green flag is back out as we are working lap 9. Back up to the top side is Schultz with Lacey kind of running the middle. Shaw trying to get things going on the bottom. He's got a couple of folks on his tail as they come through the corners, as Jeffrey Barker and Kevin Fry are right there. And you can see everybody down low except the top 2 at this point. Stephen Shaw Jr., he's got his hands full in 3rd as Barker is right on him, and right behind Barker, right on the bottom, is Kevin Fry in the 21, as again Lacey is trying to run down the leader, but the caution flag is out again. 10 laps complete here at Eldora. We are 40% through the race at this point.
It looked like John Rayner was the man involved with that one. We're back here, so we'll watch the replay on this one. Yeah, they did that update. I don't know. iRacing decided it was just going to lock up there on me and die.
So you had to restart it and everything?
I just restarted and brought it back. Apologize about that, folks. So And you gotta love the world, man, of computers and everything. So,
No.
as watching this replay, see what happened to John back here. He's coming out down the front stretch. Not sure. Oh, he just looped it.
Very easy to do in these cars.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have to be on the gas, but you will not turn. I know guys who've gone from these to late models and say the late models are easier than one of these cars.
You know, as far as when it comes to dirt, period, my hat's off to any guys out here that run dirt, because it just, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I have hardly no time trying to walk straight rather than drive sideways. You know, and these guys right here is phenomenal. Whether it's in the real world or virtual world, I know a lot of these guys have real world experience. It is just amazing to watch.
You got to trust yourself. The car starts to turn. Of course, with the stagger and the way the setups are in these cars, the cars kind of turn into the corner on their own. You really don't have to force it. So to be able to trust it when that back comes around is a skill that just, I don't think 99% of the world has inside them.
I would think drifters would be pretty good on dirt. As we go back green here, Brandon Lacey's been a man along with Brendan Lacey and Brandon Schultz up front, been the two up there and right there to get up in the wall again. Brendan there, now he's got Steve Shaw, jumps to the inside.
That might have cost him second spot as he was on that wall pretty good. Barker 3 wide now as he's down low too. So Lacey is now back to 5th position after surfing the wall.
Yeah, it is. That puts old Kevin Fry there in the mix too. Jeffrey Barker, he moves it up into second. As you see Brandon Schultz trying to protect the inside lane. Brandon Schultz kind of checking out here. Backside there with Stephen Shaw Jr. and company. Brendan Lacey there. It's a battle on for about second on back. And unfortunately, John Rayner around. Yellow's out.
13 complete. We're just past halfway. And this is one of the things I love about Eldora. Even though, you know, the preferred line is right up there on that edge, running the top, there are times during the race when you can run low, get those left side tires into the brown clay down on the inside and actually turn better laps down on the bottom. So be interested to see which lane is the lane to be in with a couple to go.
Oh, John Rayner just around again. I mean, he tried to sling it into the turn. No. That thing just would not turn on him, and boom, gone.
But again, like we said, this is a fun track. It really is. There's a lot of room. And the nice thing is we've noticed from some of the races, if you've got the lead and you've been running the top, and you want to make sure that you don't get tagged on the last lap, they just go down and hug that inside wall, and it makes it pretty darn near impossible for second place to go down again.
Well, it looks like we're going to go back single file here, start again tonight. It's been a good one here for the Schultz Heating and Cooling feature tonight. It's absolutely, for GeForce Racing League here, it's been an absolutely outstanding kind of mini-series here, so to speak, before we kick off the season, and got a lot of great things happening. Go over there and check out GeForceRL.com to get all the updates and information as we're live tonight here on GeForce TV on YouTube, also our network on Facebook. I always say pick your poison on which one you like. Appreciate everybody tuning in either way. Hope you're enjoying it. As there's some good racing here so far. And single file start. I tell you, it's been all Brendan Lacey. And Schultz was up there a little bit ago, though. Well, actually, excuse me, it's all Brendan Schultz right now, but Brendan Lacey's been there with him, but he kind of fell back on that last start.
Yeah, and so did Chris Schultz, who was up there for a little bit, too. Lacey's back at 5th right now, and that is what happens sometimes when you run that wall like that. All it takes is an inch or two too far to the right, and you're in trouble. Back to green as we work lap 14.
Brendan Schultz loving everything he's seeing in his rearview mirror right now as he's up there on the top side cushion as he's running away from Steve Shaw for the moment. Here comes Jeffrey Barker trying on the backside, but down low, Kevin Fry, Brendan Lacey, they're going to see if they can't make the low line work. Not able to right now as they slow up, and it says yellow flag. Not 100% sure who that was on.
Neither was I. I'm looking at the leader's car, too. What is that? Some kind of robot chicken thing on the side there he's got on the quarter panel? I don't know what that is.
Robot chicken.
Kind of cool. Oh, you don't know
Bandy.
that show?
John
Okay.
Bandy is what he's got on one side of it.
Yeah, right on the rear quarter. It's a rooster or something. I don't know what. So,
I don't know if I can get a close enough shot to it or not here. Let's see.
I'm catching it from the TV view right now from TV1.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I'm a little bit too far away.
And Stephen Shaw, that second place car, that reminds me more of what you'd actually see at a lot of these races, especially because not everybody in the UMT IMCA world, there's a big difference there, because it's not a starter class, but it's kind of a middle class right there. So a lot of times you do see the cars with just the plain color, contingency stickers, and the numbers, and that's all they can do.
They ain't got no sponsor.
Also, like a lot of guys say, why would I want to spend the money on the car to make it look good? I'd rather spend the money to make it fast. So there's two ways of looking at those things. Anybody who wastes their time on the graphics to some degree, I mean, if you don't have that kind of money coming in and you can't afford it, heck, I've seen tape numbers on the side of these cars.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why. I mean, unless I had a sponsor, I'd do the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
71's an easy one to do.
Maybe like spray paint my name on there or something. That'd be about it.
Mm-hmm. Forget the stencils like they used to have back in the day, remember? Set it and get it. Green flag.
Yeah, Brendan Schultz out front. And, Steve, man, got up there and clobbered the wall a little bit.
Not too much, though. He's still going, but I'm watching out front as off the wall right there was Stephen Shaw. What did you see that made you laugh?
The way the car hit the wall, it just was funny. I mean, it hit it just perfectly flat on the side, and when it did, it just hopped on all four like a bunny going down the front stretch. It caught me off there a little bit. It's just the way it bounced. Normally you see the rear end bounce off, but that would kind of hit the perfect side, and when it did, it just bunny hopped all the way down the track.
I like that. We'll use that as a new term now. Bunny hop. So,
bunny hop that thing all the way down. It was good.
That's a good thing. But you know who has been good here? Now he's going to see somebody on the inside. Brendan Lacey's running some good laps now. He went around the outside, but he got the wall again. He went from second to fourth to fifth, just like that.
And he just cannot get that thing off the wall, and it's just glued up there, just kind of stuck to it. And then when he came down on the track, he caught the 0-0, and they're still going green. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a pack back here in the back around about 13, 14 place spot.
Yeah, I'm watching Shaw right now because he and Barker and Goldner are having a good race out there for second spot, because out front, Brandon Schultz, he's kind of in his own groove right now as he is out front and cruising. Goldner now up to second. Does he have anything for Brandon Schultz in the caution out? 6 to go.
Oh, Cody Castleman saw him right there. Just kind of got hooked a little bit. They were back there beating and banging on each other. It's almost like demolition derby. I mean, one thing I am noticing, and it caught me off guard with what happened to Steve up there, but the bunny hop moved there. But one thing I am seeing is these things bounce an awful lot.
Yeah, coilover suspensions on the back, and any car that will rise up like that, you figure the suspension will also dive down too. And with them sitting so low on the right rear, any disturbance like that, and like you said, they just get in the bunny hop mode. Very tricky cars, and you can see if you look at them from the back too, they have those supports like the late models do, because these are about as close to a late model as you're going to get. So they're meant to be kind of bounced off the wall a little bit, and then bend those pieces and straighten it out, and you're ready to go back to racing.
Yes, it
Easy
is.
fix. Easy fix. They're designed for contact.
What's up, Sean? Peter, Don, how y'all doing out there?
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We really do.
Nah, Don, you're good out there. I don't know. Might be a iRACING thing or whatnot. How's it look now? I don't know when y'all posted those. Cool. Stop talking. You want to hear the engines. You want to hear the engines? They're loud. Peter says, stop talking. You want to hear the engines. I mean, we can actually just sit up here and just let y'all watch the race.
Yeah.
I don't know if Roger and them would want that, but we can just let them do it.
Let them watch an in-car for a second, and then we'll let them listen to the motor. So that was always one of my favorite parts of the live race. When they went to the in-car, I wanted the announcer to be quiet, too. 3 cars out in front right now as Schultz, Goldner, and Shaw are the top 3. Jeffrey Barker back and forth, the only guy up there trying to work the bottom as everybody is up to the top.
Absolutely. It's got, so we are riding along here with Steve Shaw inside, and just get a trip out of how they are just cocked sideways inside there.
Mm-hmm. And Goldner just lost 2 spots as getting around him was the 96 of Shaw and the 513 of Barker, and also Kevin Fry in the mix after starting 8th. Got to give a shout out to Terry Landis, 12th to 8th, and also a shout out to Jeff Fitzpatrick, 18th to 9th.
There we go. Battles on by Kevin Fry and company back there around 5th, and Kyle Parker's also back there in around 6th place spot. So a lot of good racing happening back in that area.
Kyle Mooney's up there in the 24 as well. And also Terry Landis in the 661 that we just mentioned. 3 wide right now for position number 5. Wow.
Good racing so far, like you said. So everybody, man, right now, they're trying to get single file. They're trying to work this thing out here. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, the top 3 are alone at the top, and Goldner now has separated himself from that battle for 4th. As Kevin Fry and Jeffrey Barker are doing that one. And Barker, he's just committed to the bottom. He's going to stay there, where Fry's kind of rolling the middle. Caution out once again. And we're 24 laps in. Almost made.
Yeah, did that wild white flag caution style deal again for us.
Green, white checker, made for excitement.
Absolutely.
I mean, remember when the race just to finish under yellow? It was like kind of like a soccer game. It ends in a 0-0 tie. It's like, yeah, there was a winner, but it just wasn't exciting. I watched an IndyCar race a couple weeks ago and did that. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that I didn't like that.
No doubt, gotta love it. Here we go, getting set here to go back green flag racing here tonight as these guys, man, are getting it geared up.
It is. Can Brandon Schultz hold on this restart? He's led every lap to this point. Goldner's been fast. He's fallen back to 5th. He's now back up to 3rd, and Shaw's been there the whole race. So has he been saving his tires? Does he have something left? We're going to find out in short.
Yeah, it is. So here we go, getting set to go back green flag here tonight. I mean, like you just said, almost a green-white checkered for these guys. So get set. Here we go.
And as long as they complete that first lap without a caution, it'll be official. That's what you told me, right, Joe?
Absolutely. They can get to the white flag, it's over. And the man of the benefits here is got to be, Brandon Schultz. The man's been out front all night long. The single file restarts is definitely going to benefit him.
I would be surprised if he goes right to the bottom, at least on the initial start, just to try to get a run, and that's what he does. And here we go. Green flag out, green, white checker to come.
Yeah, it is green flag, but I tell you what, Steve Shaw's been trying to hammer down the low line. It's not worked all night long. He's got company by Stephen Goldner. One more time around here, so if we can make it around 2 more times. You see old Steven right there out of turn 4. Actually, it's going to say checkered flag. But
checkered this time.
Yep. Actually, that's it.
That's it. So Schultz wins.
That was crazy. That was kind of... I guess they didn't have the green-white checker, and it... Oh.
Well, they did 26. It just...
Oh, wait a minute. Caution laps don't count. That's right. Never mind. No green-white checker. That's why.
That's
we
why.
got mixed.
Okay.
We got a little mixed up. We're so used to that green-white checker, we got it mixed up.
Yeah.
Folks. Yeah. They didn't count the caution lap, so they still technically was only 2 to go. Or really
so
just
Schultz wins, leads the ball, Goldner.
Yep.
But that move by Shaw at the end cost him second place. Goldner was able to sneak by.
He tried everything he could to get it up there, but and stay there in second place, but just got outmaneuvered around the last turn there. So if we can't get some of these guys up here and get talk with them. That was a good one, though.
It was. Very entertaining race. A lot of good racing behind the leader. And Stephen Shaw Jr. went for it. He didn't want to finish in second. It cost him a spot, but still, great effort on his part.
We're third place man, Steve Shaw. Let's get a word.
Steve, it's Doug here in the booth. How we doing? Tell me what happened on that last restart.
I just tried to go to the bottom, hopefully get a run on the leader. Still finished on the podium, so I'm happy with that.
So we weren't content to finish second. We were going for it.
Slick track like that, you only got one chance, so I went for it, and it didn't pay off, and Steven got by me on at the end there, but we raced each other pretty clean all race, I think.
You got a lot of experience in these cars, Steven?
Probably my 3rd time ever running them.
Are they as tough as they look to get around a racetrack?
They're horrible. 800 horsepower, 8-inch tires, and they're sideways all the time. It's you know, big track like this, you'd think you'd be hammered down, but you know, end of the race here, you're lucky to be half throttle.
Well, great job. Any thank yous you'd like to throw out there, Stephen?
Like always, got to thank GForce, Roger for all his hard work and all the crew, and thank you guys for doing the stream.
We appreciate that. Nice job tonight, Stephen.
Thanks a lot.
There's old Steve Shaw right there, man. Like you said, coming home in third, trying to do everything he can to hang on to second, but this man here was able to outmaneuver him. Stephen Goldner, bring him up here and let you get a word with him.
Stephen, nice job out there. I noticed it was back to fifth, up to second, back to fifth. That was crazy action there at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a interesting race for sure. It's pretty well my first time in UMP modified, so I just kind of get the feel of it. I mean, I ran 10 practice laps probably earlier this week just to see if I was in the ballpark for speed, but it worked out okay.
Like a late model or like something else? What would you compare it to, Stephen?
Kind of like a late model, I guess, yeah.
Okay. What happened on the restart there? How'd you get second place away from Stephen Shaw?
He left the top open, and then my plan was I was pretty well committed to the top because I'm not really a big bottom guy at Eldora, so stuck up there. I mean, the hole closed up a little bit, but I still managed to squeak through and hold on the second there.
Nice job. Did you have anything for Brandon?
I feel like I did early, but near the end of the race, he was just too good. Or when I hit the wall that one time, it might have been up some stuff. I'm not sure, but he was definitely quick at the end, so I don't think I would have caught him.
Any thank yous you'd like to get out there, Stephen?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Vanderbilt Racing and you guys for putting the stream on, and Roger for having this deal. It's a fun little off-season thing we have going on.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Nice that everybody had fun. Good job, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Stephen Goldner, like I said, man, right there, coming home in second with this guy here. He was the class of the field here tonight. Brandon Schultz doing it all here. Brandon, join the booth here. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what, you're the man up there tonight. You're here in the Strickland GMC victory lane here for the UMP Modifieds at Eldora. Well, I gotta ask, you won, but do you like these cars a lot?
Yeah, I actually used to run these quite a bit, but it's been a long time since I've been in one, as probably most people could tell. I'm trying to knock off the rust and the wall down every other lap, so kind of just glad to get out of here with a finish. I didn't think we would have won, but glad to be in victory lane though. Yeah,
no doubt. I tell you what, did the single file starts kind of help you? You think it kind of helped you out a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. If I would have been stuck on the bottom on the restart, I don't know if I would have thrown a slider or not. I don't know if I trusted myself enough just because I don't run these a whole lot anymore. But yeah, I don't think I would have won if it was double file.
I got you. Well, I'll tell you what, man, you did an outstanding job here tonight. Put it in victory lane here. And like I said, on a tough track with tough cars here too. But hey, you won it. Got anybody you want to thank?
Oh yeah, just gotta thank all the boys at Vanderbilt Race Cars. Gotta thank Jesse Bandy, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Brennan Lacey, Stephen Goldner, who's a new guy to the team. Ross Zumbach for the paints, Wegman Brothers, Powerhouse Racing Fuels. Just, I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple more names, but I gotta thank all them boys. You guys for the broadcast, and Roger for putting it on.
Absolutely. I tell you what, again, congratulations on that win tonight there, Brandon.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, I tell you what, well, we're going to leave Eldora here. What a race that was there, Doug, as these guys put on an awesome event here in the UMP Modifieds. But we're going to the new track here of iRACING, Weedsport. Folks, don't go anywhere. No, it's still.
Introducing GeForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
Hi folks, we're back here, GeForce Racing here tonight, and well, I tell you, been some exciting racing, but this race number 2 here tonight, and apologize, a little technical issues. This is week 13. Let me explain real fast. If you're new to iRacing in virtual world, every 13 weeks, iRacing brings out a new build, and basically they shut down their servers and do their maintenance. And obviously they did that, I believe it was yesterday. And when they do, there's always little hiccups here and there. As obviously saw earlier in the last race, I lost about 5 or 6 laps because iRacing just decided it was going to freeze and crash. It's happened to the best of them out there, and we had to reset up a new servers out here because, well, they just went bye-bye some reason and off poof. So, but we're back here live, and it's under qualifying to get set here for race number 2 tonight, and that's going to bring us to 2 W's, plumbing and contracting by Chris Whipple out there. And folks, I'll tell you what, if I gotta say it, if you're living under a rock and you just crawled out from under it, and you don't know what plumbing and all is, I mean, hey, but just so you don't know, and you got some busted pipes or anything, and you want these guys, and you need them cleaned up, you need them in straight, because I know we talked about wintertime coming, and boy, I tell you, hot, cold, you know how that ice sometimes works. It can freeze up those pipes, bust them real easy. So I tell you, 2W's Plumbing and Contracting guys probably get you fixed up really quick.
And of course, all the races here tonight sponsored by the good folks at Southern Patio Enclosures. They are the Super Cup Series sponsor, and they can go anywhere in the country. Build your dream. Look them up, southernpatioexposures.com.
And I tell you what, looks like we're getting set here to go green flag from qualifying in our first heat race tonight, A&J Custom Creations heat race number 1 here. And again, back with the UMP Modifieds. This is a new track here, folks, Weedsport. Now, when I say new track, it's a new track on iRacing. Just came out yesterday. Yeah. But I tell you what, just found out my man up here, Doug, in the booth, Weedsport's from up in the New York area, and you're not too far away from it.
Only about 25 minutes away. I've been going to Weedsport Speedway since 1994. This is a very unique place. Walls all the way around. It's just a little bit bigger than the third. They put it at 0.38, so that's 3/8 mile. But walls all the way around. Turn 4 is the tight corner. I took a lot of time last night driving very slowly around this place, Joe. They nailed everything from the pits to the trees to the grandstands, the outbuilding. They just nailed this place. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, and that just gives a hats off to what, again, if you're new to the virtual world and all, that's the next term, I'm going to use laser scan tracks. The biggest difference to a 3D scaled style track, they try to get it modeled just right as opposed to laser scan. And basically, they go out there with a multitude of kind of different angle of a camera to get the actual textures of how everything is done, how the whole speedway is, how the ground is done, and it is a true to life replication of what that track is, and that's how these things are so realistic on the virtual side of the world, is when they do it. And you know, it takes a lot of money, a lot of time put into it just to do one of these tracks. That's why you hear a lot of guys saying, well, when are you going to rescan another track?
Well, let's talk about, I think they did it last summer, if I'm not mistaken. It's been over a year. that they did this. But one of the racier tracks in New York State, they've hosted World of Outlaw late model sprint races. They run wingless sprints there. They run modifieds. Pretty much, it's a specials only format. They only get out about 8 times a year, but they pack the place. It's one of the bigger pit areas in racing. It's a wonderful facility. They have a bar and everything. So on one side behind the grandstand, they got a big screen with, they got ice cream in there and everything. It's just an amazing place. It is one of the true show palaces in dirt racing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan Beagle out front there, and I tell you, you got kids right there, Doug?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well,
my daughter raced this track last year.
Hey, there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, the kids nowadays, I don't know if they're doing the virtual schooling and all. My wife was telling me a little bit about it and all, and you find a lot of mistakes on the teacher's end because she's just that way. She loves looking at it. But right now, these guys out here, it's a tight racetrack. Walls on both sides here, a little bit, lot tighter than what Eldora was. So might not see too much 3-wide racing. They're going to try for the moment. Battle's on up front. Brendan Lacey, he's up in the wall, though, again with these cars.
And Lacey now has the lead, so put Jeff Fitzpatrick back to position number 3. This is a traditional T-shaped track. The leaders will go down into 1. Not as tight as it used to be. They did a redesign of this track about 6-7 years ago. But the backstretch goes on forever. Turn 3 is nice and gradual, but then turn 4, that's when things tighten up, and that is the major passing zone on this track.
Ryan Beagle right there in the 4th place spot. He's got Joe Backus trying to take it away from him. He slides on the inside, a little contact made, throws Ryan up into the wall. And he's going to go, well, hey, I like you, Beagle, but I got to get that 4th place from you.
And right back down to the inside of the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's in the wall, and I think he actually took it into the pit area, actually.
Yeah, he drove that thing in there. He said, you know what? He heard you say something about a beer store in there, and he's just going to try it out. He said, hey, forget about racing, man. They're talking about drinks up there in the booth. Ryan Beagle out of this one, too, so he's going to have to run the numbers here tonight. Up front, you still got Brendan Lacey out there, who has done a good dominating earlier on. Battle still on here around about 4th place spot, as you got Kevin Fry and Joe Backus battling it out for that 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, 1st and 2nd, they're gone. If you're watching this race here for 3rd, they're about almost a half a track ahead of this battle, some 5-6 seconds up there. But these guys are really going at it as Fry and Backus are banging up some sheet metal there.
Well, I'll tell you what, and the man right back there who would love for those 2 guys to get together like they did would be Stonebreaker back here, because he's closing in on them. You know, it's just time's running out as the white flag. He would love to, but now you see Kevin Fry, he got away from Backus, and they kind of split up, so that might end Dennis's chance to try to get up in the 4th place. As you see, Brendan Lacey's going to win it for heat race number 1, and one of the most exciting things I'm seeing about these cars is the way that they're just able to bounce around the track. I said bunny hopping earlier around the track, and just the way they're just, I don't know, hitting each other too. I mean, there's all over the places. Heat race number 2 going to be the Malcolm Mills heat race number 2 here tonight.
Max Schultz will start on the pole. Of course, remember, he sponsored our first race earlier tonight with his Schultz Heating and Cooling business. Aiden Young will be him. Steven Saw Jr. and Nicholas Vickery will be in row 2. Stephen Goldner coming off a 2nd place just a few minutes ago with Kyle Parker. Jeffrey Barker will start with G.J. Boydell in row number 4. And then Cody Castleman and Chris Whipple will be alone in row 5. So everybody's going to get in. There's only two heats tonight, Joe. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's right. Looks like Kyle. Yep, I was going to say, was he going to grid up? He finally gridded up there. Yeah, you're right. Now, remember Aiden Young earlier? He didn't have a good time in these cars at Eldora. We're going to see starting up front here with this one, Mike Schultz. Schultz up there had a good run, got kind of dropped out. One guy I'm not seeing though, Brandon Schultz. Where's he at?
Oh yeah,
he won the last one. So
yeah, he didn't take a time in practice or in qualifying. So,
maybe he had something to do there. Understandable, but I got to give a shout out here. And if his guys tonight here, it's good ones. We're wrapping it around, and we'll get old Tom Taylor up here in a few. We'll get up here and get him to talk a little bit about the sponsors here and whatnot's going on as pace trucks rolling around here for the Malcolm Mills heat race number 2 here tonight. You got, like I said, Mike Schultz out front leading them around here at the new Weedsport track here on iRacing. If you don't have it, go out there and get it.
$11.99. It's not that bad.
If you like racing on dirt, go for it. I'm gonna just
what I'm looking forward to, Joe. I turned a lot of laps here last night in the street stock. I can't wait to see the street stocks on this track. They are going to put out a really good show. Yeah, a couple friends of mine were telling me they were doing some laps in the 360s today, and again, this is a sprint car track. World of Outlaws, they have Empire Super Sprints, Patriot Sprint Tour, a lot of 360 stuff, but the World of Outlaws have been coming to this track for a long time.
Green flag flies. Mike Schultz out front. He drops the hammer down, see if Aiden Young's able to hold up. He's already in the wall right there, and he's actually going to go 3 wide. Who's down on the inside? That's Steven Shaw Jr. Remember, he was up front there battling in the last race.
And I would think that Mike Schultz probably has laps here at the actual Weedsport. Whether he does at the new Weedsport, that I'm not sure of. But so far, he looks like he's at home as he is out in front and adding a little distance between himself and Steven Shaw.
Aiden Young, unfortunately, backing it back to 4th place. Kyle Parker looking down on the inside of him to see if he can't play a slider move on the inside there. You got to watch that wall down there coming out of the turns. Everybody single file. Still Mike Schultz up there, but he's feeling the heat from the backside from Steven Shaw right there.
And the other thing, too, at this track, with the walls all the way around, especially on the inside, on the straights, you can pitch that car too much and end up on the inside walls. We've got a battle for the lead.
Yeah, look at that. Steve Shaw throws that slider in there, made a little contact up there, traded a few paints with Mike. They're still side by side. Out of the turn, boy, Steven Shaw bulldozed his way to the front.
He just said clear that time as he went through turn 4 as we were lap number 4 here. 3-car battle between Schultz, Shaw, and Goldner as who was actually catching the top 2, and Aiden Young now solidly in the last transfer spot in 4th.
Yes, it is. Good run up front there. Steven has made his way to the front side. Mike Schultz hangs on to 2nd. Steven Goldner, though, he's going to see if he can't climb up there and take away that 2nd place spot. Aiden Young up there in the 4th. Kyle Parker. Everybody's kind of single file for the moment. Try to be a little bit more patient here, and this track seems to be a little more stable than what the Eldora was.
A little bit, but again, I'm surprised that these guys are doing as well as they are here with limited experience on this track right here. So great job, everybody. And look at the lead now for Steven Shaw. Wow, up to a 2nd as Schultz got himself in trouble that time.
Oh, Cody Castleman, G.J. Boydell, all those guys, Jeffrey Barker in the back, and Jeffrey Barker just got slammed, went around. Ouch. Tearing each other up back here in the backside. Here comes the leaders round checkered flag. Yeah. Steven Shaw's going to win it. Heat race number 2.
And I think Jeffrey's very disappointed there because he's got laps at this place too. So Shaw, Schultz, Young, and Goldner, they're the ones that get in. Everybody else goes to the consolation race with the winner starting in 9th for our feature later on.
I tell you, I think it's a lot to do also with this track that these guys, they might not be on a fixed setup. You know, and I think they might be on the iRacing setup, and that's what might be, throwing them off just a little bit. But we've got our eToronto tickets B main here. Let's see if old Tom Taylor's up here while these guys are getting that. See if we can bring him up here and get a word with him. Tom, join the booth. You got a copy? No, he said he'd be right back. Tom, join the booth. You got a copy?
I'm with you.
I hear you faintly.
No, I'm all plugged in.
You're really, really low.
Let me see if I can turn myself.
Well, why?
I know some people that can do that. It's a skill everybody should have. You know.
Yeah.
I got output device all cranked up to maximum. I don't know what more to do.
It's better.
It's better than what it was. Yeah. Let me see if I can't maybe get you louder on this side here, but. I tell you what, Tom, it's been an outstanding here to see the sponsors here tonight, with the Southern Patio enclosures there and you're getting the game in 3D that you've brought out here and the sponsors that get represented here at GeForce Racing. How well have you seen the league so far and representing the sponsors?
Oh, I think it's great. I'm excited about all of it and what's to come.
Awesome, and I tell you what, it's going to be a good series, good racing. Obviously, what we've seen here, a lot more cautions than what we're kind of used to, but we're throwing out here little kind of curveballs at these guys with the different cars, different tracks. They're just not used to driving week in and week out. So, I mean, I think that's what we're seeing, especially with these UMPs. It's been a wild one. How do you feel about these cars?
Oh, man, I think the first guy tonight summed it up best. 800 horsepower and 8-inch tires. It's a nightmare.
Takes me back to the days of drag racing when we would say 900 horsepower on a 10.5-inch tire or around about 1,500 horsepower on a 10.5-inch tire would be your limit, and that usually is combination for hang on, you know. So basically that's what we're seeing tonight. Hang on here tonight is, well, right now green flag flies. We're in the E Toronto Tickets B main, and out front you got Kyle Parker here, Steven Stoneberg right there, and behind it the action. Now, you've been out on the track there, Tom. Are you seeing anything these guys can do a little bit different?
Oh, I was having a heck of a time. I lost internet in the middle of it. I could hardly even do anything, and I haven't been able to watch much either. So I've been struggling to get my internet going on here at the house.
Well, I tell you what, iRacing, obviously everybody knows week 13. Sometimes we got the gremlins out there. Actually, iRacing, you know, messed up with our servers. It locked up on me in the last race there earlier on, and then I was just able to just redo it. The stream was fine, but you know how that goes. But either way, it's been some good, exciting racing. I want to get you up here a little bit and see how you's doing and how you feel about how them sponsors is. And hey, it's good to have you on board here for the GForce.
Thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate it, man. I'm stoked to be here. See if I can't get back to watching some racing too.
Hey, man, I tell you what, there you go, folks. Tom Taylor, man behind a lot of the sponsors here tonight, and Doug. Right now, they're kicking up a lot of dirt here as we're under the lights here at the Weedsport, the Speedway. Kyle Parker and company up there. Kind of single file for the most part for the top here. You got to go back around 10th place where you get side by side.
Yeah, and I'm watching Nicholas Vickery this is something that you see a lot of at Weedsport. One guy will run the top like that, and another guy will just get the runs off the bottom. And I mean, this is exactly what you see. Vickery just can't get the run because you've got to be outside to pick up the throttle a little quicker here. And I mean, this is typical Weedsport racing right here.
And I think he's got a for sale sign on the side of his car.
Really? I didn't know you could do that. Well, I guess you can put anything on the skid, right? So
you can, yeah. It does.
Yeah,
There's a for sale sign out there.
I'm watching Stonebreaker now in fourth. John Hyde and Cody Castleman are all over him. But I mean, out in front right now. I mean, Parker and Vickery are almost 4 seconds ahead of everybody else, at least.
Right now, Dennis Stonebreaker's a man who's having a good battle around about third place. Rob Shaw, he's right there with him. John Hine. John took the boat into him. Dropped the anchor on the back end. Stonebreaker is around.
And that worked out for Cody Castleman as he was able to sneak by the outside and go from 6th to 4th just like that. So one person's bad luck is another person's good luck. That is racing.
Absolutely. I tell you what, John Hine right there in the mix. Cody Castleman along with it. Backside, Jeff Fitzpatrick. You got G.J. Boydell. But look at John Hine. You're going to try to throw that thing on the inside.
The win goes to Parker. Vickery gets second as they'll wind down on the backstretch as Consolation race is now history.
Yes, it is. And the man is going to take this one home. It's going to be Kyle Parker.
It's an extracurricular activity afterwards. Yeah. I just thought. So you saw that too, huh?
Gotta love it out there a little bit. That's all right. A little beating and banging. I ain't never heard anything.
No. Especially in the virtual world, anyway.
All right, folks, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away real quick here. And our anthems out here. Come back here to our features here tonight. Hope everybody enjoys it. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, folks, welcome back here to the dirt track here, Weedsport tonight here for the GeForce Racing. Oh, the 2Ws Plumbing and Contractors here tonight. Chris Whipple as the man behind that here as we're getting set to go green flag for our feature tonight.
First time racing here at Weedsport Speedway. Just downloaded yesterday, and this has been interesting. 20 cars will take the green in this one at the 3/8 mile racetrack here in central New York. Pace car truck is off, and we're going to go.
Green, green, green.
All right, Steve Shaw's out front. Green flag flies. Looks like they kind of got a little bit of hesitation there, but hey, we're back out front. They're all ready. Look at this. Oh, 4 and 5 wide. We said earlier they couldn't do it, but it didn't make out too good, though.
Backus and Young got in the wall. They just lost a whole bunch of spots as the caution is coming out.
John Hine is the man out there. You know, he's got that cruise shop FW out there, and I tell you, well, I always want to go boat riding. Tonight's not the night to do it because they just sunk that thing.
Yeah, it's still sitting up on the racetrack there, too, over in turn number 2.
Ouch.
It narrows up in 1 and 2 a little bit. You know, you can go in there. It's a little bit wider on the entrance to 1 than it is as you're coming out of 2. And the way the banking is, it can kind of pull you down a little bit also. So,
well, they tried 4 wide, but it just didn't work. That thing kind of got narrow real quick.
Well, this is a tough track. There's several other tracks in the area that are like it, but this is the only one that has walls all the way around. Why are they stuck there, Joe?
That's a good question. Oh, they have to wait on pace truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, come on, pace truck. Get your butt out there.
That's what I'm saying. Pace truck being a little slow, ain't it?
Yeah, he was reading or something. He's on his phone or talking to his wife or something. What's that? Eggs, milk at the store? Okay, I'll have that on the reel. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, folks, I want to give it a shout out. I know a couple people that I was talking about that was having some stuff going on the YouTube side over there on GForce TV, and I've got no drop frames on my end over here, so there's nothing I can do. I can't stop the stream if I do. It's going to kill the YouTube side, but you know, I definitely want to give all the viewers out there, and I watched it on my phone. I noticed it's just doing a buffer on the YouTube. It's not really like a freeze like I was having an issue a couple of weeks ago with the internet. Again, everything's running great, but check out over there on Facebook side on OSR Network on Facebook. Let me know how it's running. I know Doug's over here. He checked it out. A couple others have checked it out. But could be a YouTube thing going on tonight. Not 100% sure. Obviously, in the virtual world, who knows? But on my end over here, I got no drop frames, thankfully, because I've had that problem the last couple weeks in the past. And tonight it's running good, so I don't know. It could be YouTube. But we're back green here. Brendan, Lacey, and company up front. Everybody kind of single file on the start here, Doug.
You know, and one thing I just noticed from watching the Facebook feed, there's captioning there. I mean, how cool is that? Did not know. Brendan Lacey out front. Steven Shaw as we work lap number 3. Shaw getting a little pressure from Matthew Smith. Back there right behind him. Mike Schultz now back in position number 4.
Yeah, you got to go back here to around about 10th. Actually, a little bit further back. You go back here with Ryan Beagle and company. Steve, Rob Shaw, Cody Castleman back there. Got a good battle going on. As you see Ryan, oh, he stuffed that thing in there. He made it fit between the wall and the car.
Nice move right there to get that spot as well. You can do that. Takes a little bit of nerve to do it. But a nice job there as, boy, Brendan Lacey. He looked good in our first race earlier tonight. He looks even better here in this one. Schultz got off the wall. Backus followed him through as well. They're running in 4th and 5th.
Oh, Rob Shaw, man, I tell you what, doing his best imitation of the Joey Chitwood show right there. Put it on 2 wheels. Looked very nice. Run the caution back there because that's Dennis Stonebreaker. But Rob Shaw earlier, remember there, Ryan Beagle made that move on the inside of him, and he went up there. He just went up there and bumped the dog in the butt just a little bit.
Oh, he got the Beagle, huh? Okay.
He got the Beagle. He did.
It took me a second to figure out what you were. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, he got the Beagle.
Got the Beagle. Noticing not a lot of people changing positions right now either. The top 10 is exactly in the order right now that they started. And
I was looking back in the back, yeah.
That's probably just getting used to this place. You know, I also noticed they got the sponsors right here too. They have the same sponsors on the wall, nice. Even in the sign down in turn number 1. Amazing job.
Absolutely. You know, also got to give a shout out to another sponsor we haven't really gotten a chance to do. So we haven't really hit the 3 heat races too much tonight. That's iRACING League Managers. Definitely want to give a shout out to those guys. And then obviously our feature here tonight, Southern Patio Enclosures here for our feature tonight. I mean, those guys being the title sponsors of the series, feature here tonight. But obviously our main race guy here for our second race here tonight is going to be 2Ws Plumbing and Contracting. Chris Whipple's the man behind that. You know, obviously they specialize in all aspects of plumbing and contracting, and you're in their area. I'm not 100% sure where they're located, so I apologize on that one. Definitely look them up, though. it would be a 2W's plumbing and contracting. So I actually, they got a website here. So, and I know you might not be able to read it on the logo scrolling down, but it's 2WS Plumbing LLC.com. That's 2WS Plumbing LLC.com. So look that up. Should give you all kinds of information on what they do, where they're at, where they're located. We're back green, and they're already back there killing each other around about Aiden Young. It looks like the yellow's back out, and that's actually...
Oh, they're still wrecking.
That looks like that is Aiden Young. Unfortunately, he's around. He just got shoved into the wall.
I know who didn't want to see that was Brennan Lacey. He had pulled out to almost a full second lead right when that yellow came out. He just seems to have a knack for this 3/8 mile track here at Weedsport.
Absolutely. A good run up front here. Brendan Lacey definitely, like you said, out front. They got to slow down, wait for the pace truck again. And shorter tracks as this is, sometimes the pace truck gets a little bit behind. I mean, it's a Chevy. We'll give it some time.
You know, the other thing they nailed on here.
Throw that out.
I'm watching. The other thing they really nailed here is there's a lot of tracks that are like this place, especially like Knoxville, places that have walls. That clay does get tossed up to the wall, and that cushion will actually end up pretty much staying in the whole spot all night long because there's no place for that clay to go. So they're out there about as far as they can go right now.
And what I've learned in the dirt side, obviously you have your top side, which they basically call it the cushion here in dirt racing, and then obviously it's the dirt basically pushing up, and it can form and get a lot higher and higher and higher. It's basically what the equivalent of a banking would be in the asphalt side of things, but the cushion up top. But not only that, like you just mentioned, down at the bottom, some tracks don't have that wall, but it will form what they call a curbing or inside style cushioning on that one. So, and you'll see a lot of guys hit it too.
Don't want to go down too far here though, because if you get right down, it'll suck you right down into that wall on the bottom part of the racetrack. But like you watch them over there in 1 and 2, see, look how close that cushion gets to the wall up there, and it really doesn't look like a cushion. It's more just where the loose stuff is, because the cushion can actually be anywhere from a couple inches to 5-6 inches. I've even seen them a foot high at various times. And then you just make sure you hit that right rear in the cushion before the right front, and you should be fine. Hit the right front first, you're wrecking.
All right, looks like going back green. Pace truck's in. Brendan Lacey's been the person up front all night long, but he's got company behind him with Steve Shaw right there. But Steve Shaw's got Matthew Smith ready to trying to climb down the back end of him. They got a battle going on, and we see Steve up there slapping the back of the wall a little bit.
Matthew Smith at the bottom got a good run off the bottom. That time maybe a little bit too low off of turn 4. That costed some ground as Shaw pulls away. Mike Schultz trying to get that third spot now as he'll work the outside of Smith on the backstretch.
It is Matthew Smith on the inside, puts a slide job right there on the 16 machine of Mike Schultz. Schultz thinks better of it to the high side. He's going to try to see if he can put a slider on that high lane. It's still a battle up front between Stephen Shaw, Brendan Lacey. Yellow flags out. That's Joe Backus. We'll have to see what happened to him. It's Joe Backus, but
he
yellow flag.
Back, but he clearly was involved in something there.
Yeah, I probably just got it straight, and it's just one of those that just threw it clear. So, well, folks, like I say, appreciate everybody tuning in. Let us know how it looks like. I know you folks were saying I was having a little issues on the YouTube side of things. Like I say, you can always check over on the Facebook. Let me know. I've looked on my end, everything is running good. And,
Joe, it's smooth.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, it could be a YouTube problem going on here tonight. I mean, obviously, they've had some issues and so forth and on. Could be a, iRacing thing. Who knows what's happening? Crazy night. You just never know. Getting to fall time here and so forth and so on. But appreciate everybody tuning in, hanging in, and watching this awesome racing here with the GForce Racing League.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a new build. This is the 13-week refresh that they do almost on the site, so I guess it's understandable that there could be a few glitches along the way, but they'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out too, and that's just reality of the virtual world, right?
Oh yeah. A lot of times just things out of your control. Who knows? But right now, man, it's in control is Brendan Lacey, and he's loving it. As we got
best way to
wow, we still got 21 laps left. Wow, okay.
3 cautions have slowed us down to this point, but Brendan Lacey, boy, he just really seems to love this place. He had good restarts. And I mean, this is, and I feel bad for Stephen Shaw Jr. Had a good run the last time too, and he's sitting there in second. We'll see what he does at the end of this race.
Out front, Brendan Lacey there. Stephen Shaw has tried high, low, and middle. I mean, he's just going to have to get up there and see if he can't knock him out. But the biggest thing is these restarts. You see right there, Brendan Lacey, by being single file, he's able to get out front and get away from Steven. And that puts Matt Smith right there on the back end, so he has to contest with him for a while.
And he will. Matt's trying to work that inside. And boy, he really got that thing sideways coming out of turn 2. He's committed to that low line. I don't think it's going to work. And I think Schultz might be able to get him for that spot. Little caution. I see Kevin Fry. Somebody got in the back.
Lead around. Oh, wait a minute. That's 414. I thought it was the leader right there because it was in front of him. My bad. Stephen Shaw still. No, it was the leader.
I saw Kevin Fry having a problem.
Let me go back here and look. Yeah, Brendan Lacey won around. I thought that's who that was the leader. Yes, it was. Brendan Lacey actually just looped it in front of him, and we watched that live, and that's why I said leader's in trouble, and he didn't hit anything. That thing just came around.
What a tough break. Good break, though, for Stephen Shaw, as he will now take over the lead. So, wow. Brendan Lacey, one mistake is all it takes.
We've seen it all night long with the tracks in this car. With these guys out here, they've just tried to muscle these things around the track here, and it's just been one thing after another. But hey, Steven right there was trying everything he could, and just Brendan Lacey just losing it coming out of the turn.
I guess I'm surprised we're not seeing more of that tonight. This is a car that they don't drive a lot. It's a brand new racetrack, and everybody has about the same level of experience on, maybe 24 hours at the most. So I guess maybe we shouldn't be surprised at what we're seeing here.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I said, and I've got a feeling, and if anybody out there watching from the league, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure they're running on a fixed setup here tonight. Normally, this series runs open style setups, and these guys have their own setups they do. But I'm pretty sure in this series they were running a little kind of mini series before the preview before the season opener, that they're running a fixed style setup, and some of that's going to have to do with this too. Of you just pretty much had to manhandle this car a little bit. But trucks in, here we go. Steve Shaw and company back green.
Shaw, Smith, Schultz, top 3. Kevin Fry sitting back there in the number 4 spot. As everything refreshes here, we get a fresh look at the grid. Kyle Parker now being shown in 4th. And Nicholas Vickery, 10th to 5th. Behind him, Ryan Beagle, 16th to 6th.
And up front, you got Matthew Smith been trying to work on the back end of Steve Shaw all night long, but now he got to fall back in line. You got to go back here. Dennis Stonebreaker, boy, missed that one, but then got into the wall, and boom, it's a pile up. Guys got a parking lot going on in the back here.
It's still happening as we see the 021 of Kevin Fry backing down the racetrack. So cautions, and we kind of figured this might be this way. Brand new racetrack, a car they won't run much, and we're under yellow again.
Got a word for you here. Cautions breed cautions. Use a lot of that in the asphalt NASCAR side of things, and that's usually, it stems over to dirt racing too. You get these guys, bunched back up. Anything can happen up front, and we've seen it all night long. Especially, again, we got it, definitely give a shout out to our sponsors out there, 2W's Plumbing and Contracting, Southern Patio Enclosures here tonight, and all those guys. But for this series here, it with them having the fixed setup, a car that they're not 100% familiar with. There's some guys out here that are. Now, as far as the tracks, a lot of these are, especially, Weedsport, maybe not. This is a new one, but for most of our tracks these guys are familiar with, it's the car more than anything.
Yes, this is not an easy car to drive. And as you can see, that's what's happening at this point. So a combination of both of those factors is giving us the situation that we have here. And how many saves have we seen some of these drivers make? Amazing to be able to drive these cars as sideways as they can.
Well, I appreciate it there, Tom. Tom Taylor out there is watching on the Facebook side there, and he said, yes, it's a fixed setup through this whole series here. So that kind of clarifies that for us a little bit there, Doug, on what they're doing. And I kind kind of thought that's what it was. And I'm since you're on that side, let me know how I know you said you were having internet problems, so you definitely better tell us how's the stream look, how's everything look and sound out there for you, and does me and Doug sound kind of even and level out there? I'm always, you know, kind of connoisseur on wanting my sound to sound good and pleasurable, and anything I can do for you folks. We're back green, Steve Shaw up front, Matthew Smith along with him, Mike Schultz and company there, Kyle Parker. Everybody kind of single file right now.
Yeah, this is a tough track to pass when it gets like this, because the outside does become the primary groove. So this is what you see at Weedsport if you're going to go there some night, especially when the track gets a little slicker like this. But the Shaw running a nice line already up to a half a second lead and expanding that as he goes into 3.
Got to look, John Hine back here, he's still trying to get up to the field, and you just see nobody been able to come through the field. And like you said, really tough place to pass here tonight. Nicholas Vickery and company's right there in the double O machine. He's got Ryan Beagle, who kind of earlier on just not having the night he wants. Rob Shaw, unfortunately, well, it did throw a yellow, but he got off the track, so it must have threw it right as he got off there, but he kind of went on the inside of the track there.
And of course, with the way the pits are here, you really have to blow it up in order to get it into the pit lane. So if you're running the high side and somebody's pitting in front of you, you definitely got to change your lineup. And maybe that's what happened there.
Awesome. I tell you what, appreciate Tom out there. And like I said, I appreciate everybody out here running tonight. Got to, like I say, appreciate all our sponsors. We're at their feature here, though, and our feature tonight is going to be Southern Patio Enclosures feature here. But 2W's Plumbing and Contractors there, Chris Whipple, he stepped up big time for us here. Unfortunately, not having the night he would like with these cars, but there's a lot of heavy hitter guys here tonight not having the night that they really want here.
It's true. I mean, you look back through the field, Stephen Goldner's in 10th right now. Jeffrey Barker's in 7th. Rob Shaw is way back in 15th. So, you know, it's a tough place, and nobody has a lot of experience here yet. So they'll get better, and I guarantee you. Someday they'll get the modifieds out, and you'll see a lot of the New York
get them
guys
back in their sprint cars, and folks, you'll see some wild action going on. Yeah, so here we go.
I want to see the speed drops here, too. That's what I'm looking forward to. So.
It's going to be a wild one.